Hello friends, good afternoon. Today we are going to see a chapter called as IR spectroscopy, which is in the pharmaceutical analysis of third year B pharmacy syllabus. So today I'm going to take a quick tour of this chapter where it will be helpful for all my student friends to do the revision of the same. Okay. So what exactly is IR spectroscopy? So everybody should know what is spectroscopy. When I see a lot of ray diagrams and lot of optic diagrams, it becomes very complicated as you see in this picture. However, what is a simple thing about spectroscopy? Simply, my spectroscopy is interaction of electromagnetic radiations with the matter. So when any electromagnetic radiations interact with the matter, I have some information gathered due to that, and that information is nothing but about some structure or its functional group or some or the other information, and that is nothing but spectroscopy. So rather than being complicated, we should know a simple thing: interaction of EMR radiation with the matter is nothing but spectroscopy. So when we say EMR, what exactly is this electromagnetic radiation? You have n number of electromagnetic radiations here. You can you see your radio waves, microwaves, infrared, visible light, UV light, X-ray, gamma rays. We have seen all this in day-to-day lives, right? We use radios, television sets from which radio waves of the EMR comes out. We use microwaves and cell phones where I have microwaves which are again a part of electromagnetic radiations which come out. We have infrared, we had infrared phones before. Then we have a visible light which gives us the spectrum of lights coming out. Then UV rays coming from the sun. Then I have X-rays which help me to see the objects inside my body like bones. So all these constitute an electromagnetic radiation. Okay. So when we talk about this electromagnetic radiations, in between these cosmic rays, gamma rays, X-rays, UV, you can see a red color portion which is infrared region. So infrared spectroscopy talks about the electromagnetic radiations of infrared region. So infrared spectroscopy is the analysis of infrared interacting with a molecule. And what is it used for? A very important thing, it is used for determination of functional group in the molecules. Okay, coming to where exactly this IR region is there in EMR. So IR region is bifurcated into three different regions: near IR, mid IR and far IR. Near IR is starting from 0.8 to 2.5 micrometer wavelength. Mid IR is from 2.5 to 50 micrometer and far IR is from 50 to 1000 micrometer. When we know what is spectroscopy and when we know what is IR spectroscopy used for, that is functional group detection, and what is the EMR region, now it is important to know why are we studying this chapter. We are studying this chapter to understand the fundamentals of what is IR spectroscopy, to see what type of transitions are involved in determination of IR absorption, to study the instrumentation of IR spectrophotometer, and to understand the application of infrared spectroscopy. So at the end of the chapter learning, we should have all these objectives ticked, that yes, I have done all these and I know all these. So once done the applications, it's time for the principle. So what is IR spectroscopy's principle? When any IR light is passed through a sample of an organic compound, some frequencies are absorbed where others are transmitted. We by now should know the difference between three things, that is reflection, absorption and transmission. You can see a diagram here which shows that when any light, a source, the light is coming, if the light doesn't pass through the sample but comes out, it's reflection. The ones which directly goes from the sample and comes out without getting affected, they are transmitted light. However, when the light goes through the sample, some of which is interacting with the matter that is sample, and it absorbs heat from that particular light, and the remaining is absorbed, so transmitted, sorry. So I have a reflection, absorption and transmission. But what happens in IR? When the IR ray come, there is a sample, may it be a gas, may it be a liquid, may it be a solid, where my IR radiations interact with the sample, they absorb energy, and the remaining IR radiations are transmitted out of it. Okay. So when what is exactly IR spectrum? IR spectrum is a plot of wave number versus percent transmittance. Okay. So what exactly does this mean? My IR spectrum looks like this. As I said in the first slide, it gives me the information of functional groups. So you can see here you have CH3, CH2OH, that is a ethanol IR spectra. So IR spectra is a wave number at the x-axis, and the y-axis has percent transmittance. Absorbance, transmittance is reciprocal to the absorbance. So whatever is being absorbed, the remaining is transmitted, and hence absorbance and transmittance are inversely related to each other. So you can see here few of the peaks show me CO bond, few CH and OH, and I get something called as IR spectrum, which we will see later. Okay. So what exactly are these IR spectrums? IR spectrums which we get are made up of two distinct regions, which are fingerprint region and a functional group region. A very important thing to remember is fingerprint region and functional group region. Fingerprint regions ranges from 600 to 1400 centimeter inverse. Here I am talking in terms of wave number, and functional groups ranges from 1400 to 4000 centimeter inverse. Okay, so fingerprint region comes in the lower energy part, whereas functional group region comes at the higher energy part. So you can see here, so the functional group or diagnostic region is used to determine the functional group. So as the name suggests, functional group, so this gives me what functional groups are present in my compound, most likely ones. And the fingerprint region, what does this helps then? This is the most complicated one. It is used for structural elucidation by spectral comparison. So if I have to compare my standard with a sample, I do not go on comparing with all this. I compare with the fingerprint region, and if it exactly matches, then I can say yes, standard is equal to my sample. So fingerprint region is used for structural elucidation, whereas functional group region will give me the number of functional groups present in the compound. Okay. So once done with the principle of IR, we have to know that what happens exactly to the molecule when it's absorbed energy. The IR rays are absorbed by the sample, I said. So there are few changes that occur in my sample when they take up the IR radiations. What are those? These are the two changes: molecular vibrations and molecular rotations. So whenever a molecule is absorbing IR radiations, there is a change in the vibration of a molecule or a rotation of a molecule. Okay, so most likely molecular vibrations help in IR spectroscopy and not molecular rotations. They are not of more importance to any spectrophoto spectroscopist. So what important here in IR is molecular vibrations. So coming to molecular vibrations, there are two types. One is stretching vibrations. What is stretching vibrations? Change in the interatomic distance between along the bond axis. So any bond, I have a bond between two atoms here. I have a bond between two atoms here. If the interatomic distance changes, it is due to stretching. So you have all seen that I have something like this, and interatomic distance is changing, and if both is happening in the same pattern, it is a symmetrical stretching. If one is coming up and the other is going up, then one, then the other, like a seesaw, it is an asymmetric stretching. However, these stretchings happen in one plane. Okay, they are not out of the plane stretching. So these are my stretching vibration, either symmetrical or asymmetrical. Why it happens? Due to change in the interatomic distance. What are the second? So these are the ones which I told you. What are the second type of vibrations? Bending vibrations. What are bending vibrations? Changes in the angle between two bonds. So here interatomic distance remains same, but inter-bond angle changes. So bond angle is changing. How exactly is changing? Either the bond angle is changing in one plane, or the bond angle changes in the out of the plane. So I have two things here. in plane deformations or out of the plane deformations. So in plane involves scissoring. Everybody has used a scissor. So when the bond angle changes like this, which resembles a scissor, it's scissoring. If the bond angle resembles like a rocking doll, which we have seen in our toys, is nothing, or a rocking chair, grandpa's chair is nothing but rocking. So bond angle changes in one plane. However, there is out of the plane deformations where bond angle changes in a different way. So this is wagging when both are going out of the plane, coming in the plane, going out of the plane, coming in the plane. However, twisting is one coming out, then other coming out, one coming out, then other coming out. So you can see in plane or out plane deformation. Okay, so it's a quiz time now. We have done a lot of things till now. So let's see whether you are able to give me an answer. What is the wavelength range of IR? Think. We did it in the first slide where I was talking about IR spectroscopy, useful for functional group detection, and the wavelength range was 0.82 thousand micrometer. Absolutely correct. What information do I get from IR spectroscopy? I think I just gave the answer. It is nothing but functional group. Absolutely correct. Once the quiz time is done, we go to the next part of it, which is example of ethanol. So you can see here now better that previously we just saw what is an IR spectra. It was wavelength, wave number versus percent transmittance. But now we know when an IR radiations come in and drop onto my sample, they get there are changes in the vibrations, and because of which there are either stretching or bending occurring, and that gives me a peak in the IR spectra. So if there is a change in the CO bond, either stretching or bending, it gives me a peak here. In the CH bond, it gives me a peak here. OH gives me a broad peak near 3000 centimeter inverse. So every functional group has its characteristic wave number at which it comes near about, depending upon which molecule it is present. Okay. So this was all about your IR. Then is this instrumentation of IR. The basic instrumentation involves a source, a monochromator, a cuvette, a detector, and an amplifier. So we know source is going to emit radiations, monochromator is going to select the wavelengths. The selected wavelengths will pass on to the sample. Some will be absorbed by the sample, changes in the vibrations will occur, some will be transmitted, which will go to the detector and will be amplified. Okay. So coming to the sources, we have different types of sources in IR. Nernst glow bar source, incandescent wire, mercury arc, CO2 vapor, and tungsten filament. A very important thing to remember that these are different than any of the other spectroscopic or UV methods. So I have to remember these light sources. Nernst glow bar source, they have heat to about 1000 to 2000 Kelvin temperature. They are increasing. The temperature of the source is almost about 1000 to 2000 Kelvin. And they either have a positive temperature coefficient or a negative temperature coefficient, and they help us to give away radiations of IR region. Next comes the wavelength selector. The wavelength selector primitively used was a filter. Then came the monochromators, which had optic assembly. Optic assembly was entrance, columnating lens, and a dispersing element. Either a dispersing element may be a prism or it may be a grating. So you can see here two things are shown. Prism is giving me less broader regions to select, whereas grating is giving me a wide range of selection from which I can select one particular IR radiation, and hence it is far more better than the prism. And then the exit. Once the wavelength is selected, the important thing is handling of sample in IR. Sample handling in IR is depending upon which type of sample is, nature of the sample, either a gas cell, either a liquid film, either a KBR disc, mull, or a deposited film. So gas cell involves a gas in the chamber which is filled up and which is placed in the IR spectrophotometer for detection. Liquids are made up into a film. Solids are either dispersed into KBR and compressed at a higher pressure to give me a small flats or KBR discs which are being placed in my sample holder. They can either be used with the mineral oil or glycerine and with mulls to make the mulls, Nujol mulls usually they are called as, or in the form of deposited film. So these are the handling of sample in IR. I am not going into detail as we are doing a revision of the entire chapter. Once done, there are few detectors which are specific to IR spectroscopy: thermocouples, bolometer, Gole cells, pyroelectric detector and photoconductive detector. It helps to detect the IRs.